Hey everybody, Captain Foley again. I know I did my Insurrection video yesterday, and it was quite a while before I did a movie review before that, so knocking the next one out today, and that is Star Trek Nemesis. The last in the Next Generation movies, last in the Prime Universe movies. So let's get underway with that. Not really liked by a lot of people. But like all Star Trek movies, like I said in the last video, it's got its good points, it's got its Star Trek moments. So hopefully we can find a few and kind of redeem a little bit of the Next Generation movie franchise. Like I said yesterday, please put in the comments below your favorite Star Trek movie, whether it's the Next Generation movies, the original cast movies, what you guys like, and we'll discuss that. So, I'm just going to get underway here. One thing right off the hop I got to give this movie credit for is the opening title sequence. It's very cool, very well done. And the font is cool with the E's where they are. I just like this opening. It's a great title sequence as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't save the movie by any means, but it is very cool. And as it's so cool in Star Trek, I love seeing different homeworlds. So to see the Romulan homeworld is really cool. I love how it's like Rome. But if you ever watch a show called Reboot, it kind of looks like Mainframe. Just saying, it does. But I love the Rome parallels.
At last, the destinies of the planets Romulus and Remus will be united. Shinzon of Remus is offering us a chance to make ourselves stronger than ever before.
And I love the map on the floor of the Senate.
I beg you not to let prejudice or politics interfere.
So in true Roman tradition, they got the best assassinations ever. This is so cool. Not only is it like cool to watch, but like visually it's just very awesome.
Would someone alert security? Bring back Senator Telora.
But the cleanup would be super easy. All you have to do is go in there with the janitor crew and some brooms, you know, some dustpans, mop these guys up. So body removal wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so we have the wedding here, which is great. But why is Wesley here? Didn't he go off to be some like advanced being? And now he's back in Starfleet? That requires an explanation.
Don't worry, number one. We'll soon have your debaters able with plenty of time to spare. Thank you, sir. Where we will all honor the Betazoid tradition. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be in the gym.
Was that an order? Did he just order Worf to be naked? Doesn't that violate some kind of human resource code thing? I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to order one of your crew to become naked. And while this is a very cool feature with the shuttle taking off and the Argo like jumping into it and like locking in, I find it highly unlikely even for advanced technology like that. But it is kind of cool. So she doesn't seem like something that they would normally do, so it just doesn't seem like it's something that they would have planned for. But it is a cool stunt, and it's, yeah. It's kind of like emergency landing plan B. B, as in barricade. He can't be serious. And here's one of the problems I had in the last movie. Data pads everywhere on his desk. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He's holding 8. Like I said, I know he gets reports from all the different department heads and whatnot from the ship, but couldn't it all be like compiled into one tablet wirelessly? Because I mean, we can do that now. So this, it just seems cluttery. I know they want to make him look busy and look like a captain, but really in the future, would you have that?
Admiral Janeway, good to see you.
Admiral Janeway.
How'd you like a trip to Romulus?
Who else deserves an admiralty,
We'll
right?
help the rest of the fleet.
More contacts than most captains in Starfleet history, more first contacts.
Seems there's been some kind of internal political
Discovered how many planets, how many races, survived 7 years in the Delta Quadrant on their own, and who wouldn't want to accept an admiralty, you know, a desk job, a pencil pusher, because she's been through a lot, and
get the lay of the land.
I'm sure she spent nights in, I don't know, I was just thinking, if I ever get home,
Entire quadrant.
Understood.
I want to be an admiral, so I'm not in the field anymore.
But it's not much.
She doesn't need any more field work as far as I'm concerned. She's proven herself. And, yeah, I love that the fact that they made her an admiral. That's just awesome.
You seem to get all the easy assignments.
Just lucky, Admiral.
Let's hope that luck holds. Janeway out.
But it was nice seeing her cameo in this movie. I really like that. I am a fan of all the Star Trek series, so I do love Janeway. I do love Voyager. I wouldn't say it's my favorite series by any means, but I enjoy all Star Trek. I even enjoy JJ's Star Trek. I know that I occasionally pick it apart and point out everything that's wrong with it, but there's just so much. But I still enjoy it. I can still enjoy Star Trek and not agree with all the points or the way they do things. So that's the next couple movies I'm going to be doing is the JJ movies. So look forward to those guys.
Not less sophisticated than you are. We just don't know if his matrix
I know Geordie's an engineer.
Give him some time.
Jordy, what purpose does this serve?
But why is Data asking him what purpose this serves? Data's very intelligent. He knows his positronic matrix. He knows Dr. Soon's work. You think he would be able to at least assume what something would be instead of asking someone else. Now I do realize it's kind of like me looking at a picture of a cut open human and going, what's that, to a doctor? But it just seems kind of strange to me that Data wouldn't at least be able to say, Geordie, is this what I think it is? Blah, blah, blah. Instead of, what's this? What purpose does this serve? When,
Captain's log.
you know,
Starbase 56844.
he does have a little bit of experience with the positronic thing and being an android and in Starfleet. And, you know, you think he'd be able to come up with some kind of hypothesis on his own without asking Geordie. You know what else I love? I complained about it when I did my first contact video, how there was just a wall at the front of the bridge that had a holographic projection for the display screen. I love how they got an actual display screen back, because just have a wall there is just so uninteresting. I wouldn't want that personally on my bridge. I would want a main view screen, even if it's not on all the time. You know what I mean?
Primary and secondary shields.
What was the armament on this thing? It's kind of ridiculous.
Raising shields.
No, Captain. Tactical analysis, Mr. Walton.
52 disruptor banks, 27 photon torpedo bays, primary and secondary shields.
Wow.
She's a predator.
Yeah. When the hell did this become the Nosferatu movie? It looks like Nosferatu.
Major Shinzo, I'm pleased to...
Big reveal, it's a young Picard. That's creepy on its own right, but it's not even young Picard. If you go back and watch original Next Generation episodes, you see Picard with hair. You see Picard when he gets stabbed in the heart. He doesn't look at all like this guy. So the fact that they look similar didn't really... I was watching the whole movie going, you don't really look like each other. I'm sorry. So,
Do you know it, Captain?
plus, I had a different view of the younger Picard.
Come to dinner. Tomorrow, Romulus. Just the two of us.
Or should I say, just the one of us?
This part confused me initially because they hadn't established that he's a clone of Picard yet. I don't think he looks like Picard. I know what a young Picard looks like, and that ain't it. So, I was like, what the hell are you talking about at this point? Which I think what they wanted the audience to do, but I don't know.
Till tomorrow, then, Captain. We have much to discuss.
Computer, return back to the previous level.
Anyway,
It's a strain of Charlotte syndrome.
so he's a clone. We found this
He's a
out,
clone.
but
They probably used a hair follicle.
how? I got a question for you guys, and I want you to comment below. How violated would you feel if you found out you had a clone?
Inform Starfleet.
Would that bother you immensely, or
He came from.
would not bother you?
Counselor.
Let me know in the comments below. Me personally, I think it would bother me initially, but then I'd be like, that's pretty cool. I want to have conversations with this guy. And the one thing I've always wondered, I watched Balance of Terror the other day. The Romulans look exactly like Vulcans. When the hell did they develop the forehead ridges, and why? It's always bugged me. I don't like the way the Romulans look in the Next Generation. They just... Why would that happen? Is that the same kind of genetic thing that happened to the Klingons, that supposedly happened to the Klingons? I don't know. It just seems a little bit sketchy to me. I think a true Romulan should look exactly like a Vulcan.
Romulans had somehow gained possession of your DNA.
And let's say theoretically you do find out you have a clone.
And when I was ready,
Would you treat him like
they
a
were
brother,
to replace you
like a son,
with me.
like a...
But a Romulan
Well, a
agent
twin would be like a brother,
out of Starfleet.
or...
It was both.
I don't know. It's just a really weird concept to wrap your head around. It's the exact same person as you, just with different experiences. So, I got to admit, though, the conversations would be amazing, because I'd actually have an intelligent conversation for once, which would be nice. I'm just kidding. I have intelligent conversations with Sylvia all the time because she's amazing. Love you, honey.
Thank you, baby.
No problem. And she loves Star Trek, so we always have great Star Trek conversations. Which brings me to my next point. If I do episodes reviews, would you want a commentary between me and Sylvia? Because she's the Next Generation pro, I'm the original series pro, so it'd be cool to see the two different perspectives. Just something to consider if you guys wanted me to do episodes. Just let me know in the comments below, and also whether you think it would be good to have a commentary back and forth between Sylvia and I.
So,
Scimitar to secret base.
Now I know it's Romulus and Remus, but if you watch Balance of Terror and you see the map with the neutral zone, it says Romulus and Romii, R-O-M-I-I. So I'm wondering if that was changed or if it was just a different name for it. Just something I'd like to point out. See, here's the original map. And you got Romulus and Romii. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. Not a lot of you knew that. They actually do say Remus in Balance of Terror, but when they pull up the map it says Romii. So I'm just wondering if that's just technical error or if it's just another name for it, or I don't know. What do you guys think? I know for a fact that Picard did not look like that as a cadet. Bald head. I think the name of the episode was Tapestry, with Q, and you go back to where Picard got stabbed through the heart. He didn't look like that. I'm just saying. I hate when they do things like that in movies and TV shows. Use the original actor if you can find him. Or put hair on him, exactly. Do some kind of CGI deal. Make him look like he did in the TNG episode that established what he looked like in the past. Also, there was the episode where you see Picard with hair after her husband died. And they were going to visit the body. So he had hair for quite a long time. He wasn't bald as a cadet. Unless he went through a bald stage where he just decided to shave his head, like my friend Jay. But that's because he's got a receding hairline. He's getting kind of old. But it doesn't make sense. First of all, really cool weapons wall. I want one. I want a phaser rifle. And now apparently we have force fields that go around the warp core. Cool space battle. Way better than JJ's space battles, I must say.
Minimal damage to the scimitar.
Defensive pattern Kirk Epsilon. Get the shields on.
Kirk Epsilon. I love the shout out.
Add the shields down to 40%. Keep our bow in the scimitar. Auxiliary power to forward shields. Aye, sir.
Okay, so as someone who plays Starfleet battles, their rear-facing shield is at 40%, so they want to keep their front end to the scimitar with auxiliary power to the shields. That makes perfect sense. Watch what happens in the very next scene. Fire, 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 hit, 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 and then we turn our back on the scimitar with our weak shield facing them. Bad, bad tactical maneuver. And you're not listening to your first officer. Not a good thing. Gotta point something out here because I noticed that she's got Kirk lighting on her face. You know, the TOS lighting style where they like light up the face, the eyes. Never a fan of it, but had to point that out. Okay, there's a little cameo appearance coming up. We all know Bryan Singer from X-Men, the director. That's him. Don't know if you guys knew that. He's a big Star Trek fan, and it was he wanted to be in this, so he got a little cameo role, kind of like Christian Slater did for Star Trek 6. So just a little interesting fact you guys might not have known. So of course Riker has the hate on for this guy because he basically like mind raped his wife. So we got to have the battle between these two. But this scene is very reminiscent of Star Wars Episode 4 when they're rescuing Princess Leia, jumping down the garbage chute. Kind of in a complete role reversal from the last movie where Picard was on the station deactivating the collector and Riker was on the ship as the captain. We got the captain now on the bridge of the ship and Riker doing the other thing, taking out the other guys. So changing it up a little bit this time. And how much would this suck? They just had the front of their bridge blown out. People are getting blown out into space. I said blown out, not sucked out. And it's cool that the force field goes up, but now they got no main viewers, so it's just like whatever you see is what you see, and you can't magnify it. So it's like, you know, even if it's close, it's far away. It's messed up. And like I talked about in Insurrection, how there was kind of foreshadowing when Riker set a collision course with Rualfo's ship. Here we got a collision course, all the weapon, all the powered engines. We're going to ram this guy. So it's apparently a new technique, a new strategy amongst Starfleet officers.
Don't you think it's time to surrender?
I love how they're sending text messages here. It's kind of awesome.
I don't think I ever told you about my first academy evaluation. In particular, I was thought to be extremely overconfident.
Captain, as much as I enjoy listening to you talk, I really think
On my mark,
He just hung up on me.
all
That
hands
bastard.
brace for impact.
But unlike Riker, he doesn't like veer away at the last second and fire. No, he's the captain. He's balls to the wall. Get the ship in there. Why? Because it's something that Shinzon wouldn't understand. Because it's something Picard never really theoretically would have done. I hope he evacuated the front half of the ship. Oh man, now somebody's insurance is going up. Who's at fault for this? Would you know?
Well, I guess they went into their lane.
Oh yeah. The Enterprise did go into their lane, so I guess the Enterprise is going to be paying that price. Sylvie's mom's an insurance broker. I should ask her about this scene, see what she says. And she's also a huge Trekkie, that's right, so she knows what I'm talking about. But it'd be interesting. Now, their ships are kind of be mangled together, so pulling them apart makes even more damage. It's just awesome. Just hear the Spice song when two become one in my head. Here we go, backing up. Gonna leave him running. Does this room not look like the Omega-13 chamber from Galaxy Quest? I'm just asking. And just like the last movie, why do all fight scenes have to end up on bridges or hanging from bridges? I realize it's dramatic effect, but it's kind of unrealistic in every fight situation. You just happen to have a bridge across a very tall gap in your starship.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry. Gotta back up a little bit. He orders a self-destruct. And either one of two things happens here.
Computer standby auto-destruct sequence, Omega. Recognize voice back in Jean-Luc Picard. Authorization Alpha Alpha 305.
Auto-destruct is offline.
Either the ship was built by Ford and nothing works, or the auto-destruct system doesn't arrive until Tuesday. Some of you will get that too, some won't. And like I said in the last one, with the collector in orbit around the rings, deploy it. Every ship and thing in orbit in these movies needs to be deployed. Even in JJ's, drop the drill. Like I said in my last video, if I was evil, I'd have shit ready to go. It wouldn't need to be deployed, it'd be like a push of a button away. This whole deploying, dramatic tension, it's movie bullshit. See, here we go with the deployment of the targeting arms. And look how slow they go. They can't just go and then fire. No, we need the heroes, we need to give them time to save the day. So let's take as long as we can to get stuff ready. It's the pet peeve of mine. And you notice it in every movie, not just Star Trek movies. Every movie. It's always, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes. And it's almost like Into Darkness ripped this scene off. Let's jump from starship to starship. Although these guys do it way better. And here we see it again, more over complicated deploying of things. When it pops out, opens up, slides out, extends, rotates. Just do it already. So as per Star Trek II, we got our first officer, the most logical one, the most non-human one, dies. With the, of course, the possibility that he'll come back because of before was loaded with all his memories. So, and as we all know, if you watch or if you read the prequel leading up to Star Trek 2009, the comics, B4 actually does recover all the Data's memories, becomes Data, and becomes captain of the Enterprise. That's in a prequel comic, so take it for as much canon as you want. But it was a lead up to JJ's, so it's also good just to throw it in the trash. So just thought I'd point it out there. Because we all know the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one, or the artificial. This part's funny.
Captain, being a
On screen.
You don't got his view screen. Yeah. That's just funny.
This is Commander Dinatra of the Navajo. We're dispatching shuttles with...
I know Picard's really upset here, but I'm surprised that Geordi's not more upset, considering Data was Geordi's best friend.
Vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah. And Geordi, he's been given orders to now take care of the Romulans coming into the shuttle bay. You know, go do your job even though you lost your friend. Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels, his was the most human.
Family.
This seems very cool, seeing the Enterprise Z in dry dock. Got the classic Star Trek music, kind of like the motion picture. It's not quite as dramatic as the motion picture, but still very cool to see. Love how the dry docks have got a lot slimmer. Why does the Enterprise always get the dry dock above Earth? What about the Utopia Planitia yards over in Mars?
Well,
They're never there.
Disembarks.
Grant.
Of course, he gets his own ship, and what a manly ship it is! It's the Titan.
Titan
You can
opposite.
get a better name than that.
We're heading up the new task force. Apparently, Romulans are interested in talking.
We'll talk later.
And of course, at the end here, we get this little glimmer of hope that you're going to see Data again. That's, of course, the song he sang at the wedding. So, his programming is kind of taking hold,
So,
and there's the possibility that you're going to see Data back before too long. Kind of like at the end of Star Trek II, after Spock is dead, and they pan out from his torpedo tube, and you hear Leonard Nimoy say, "Space, the final frontier." Kind of hit you right in the feels moment. Right in the feels. So now we got a brand new paint job, probably some modifications, maybe a turbocharger or something now. Gonna get ready to go out and never be seen again because there's no more movies with these guys. I'm kind of hoping there will be one more. This, I don't think, was a good send-off movie for them. It wasn't like Star Trek VI, where they kind of sail off into the sunset and then you see all their autographs come up on the starfield. That was a classic send-off to the classic crew. I think the Next Generation crew needs something like that, but I don't think we're going to get it, guys. Anyway, so like I said, the next one on the hit list, I'm going to do the motion picture, the director's cut, which is really good. And then after that, I'm going to move into the JJ movies. And I know I'm going to get static from somebody, regardless of what I say or what I do. So, whatever. I'm going to just present them like I presented these ones. Mention the good points, mention the bad points. Like it or lump it. I like all things Star Trek. I can pick apart my favorite Star Trek episode if I wanted to and find bad things about it. So, you got to be open-minded and enjoy everything that's Star Trek. Even though some of them have a lot more plot holes and errors than others. That's all I have to say about that. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for the next one, which will be the director's cut of the motion picture, and I will see you soon. It's Captain Foley out. Bye.